This week on Lunchbox Envy, the Tudors served up a pigeon inside a partridge, inside a chicken, inside a goose, inside a turkey.
Queen Victoria's featured calf's head soup and pheasant in macaroni.
Captain Scott's expedition to the South Pole had to resort to a main course of stewed penguin.
And in the Czech Republic, traditionally, there must be an even number of people around the table. Otherwise, the odd person out will die within the year. Which is why I'm here.
It's Christmas!
Woohoo!
Hello and welcome to Lunchbox Envy. I'm Jack, and I'm here with my fellow QI elf, Manu.
Hey.
Our resident chef and food writer, Rosie.
I'm back, baby.
Yeah, welcome back. It's lovely to have you. It feels like old times.
What's the Die Hard quote? Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Because it's Christmas, we've got our producer, Alex, as well.
Merry Christmas!
Yay!
Should we have some champagne?
Yeah! Cheers, guys!
Cheers!
Woohoo! You are the most Christmassy person I know.
For me?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I do go quite hard for Christmas. We used to have these really big Christmas dinners when Jack and I lived together.
Yeah.
And we'd make a really long table.
Yeah.
We'd have like 20 people around. We live with chefs as well, which is great.
the other
So
thing.
I sort of really put them to work and made them like...
Because one year I was just roped in to cook this Christmas dinner that I definitely not agreed to do.
I'm acutely aware I'm sitting next to an absolute Scrooge.
Ebenezer MacKean.
I am the Scrooge at this table. I don't think Christmas lunch is a good lunch. And listen. I'm all for family togetherness. I'm all for having a delicious meal, one and all. But if I'm going to push the boat out, there's one meal that I don't want to make, and it's a shitting roast.
That's true.
Because a roast is one of our worst meals.
Yeah.
I'm going to cop some heat for this.
Oh, yeah. I aggressively disagree with you. Sorry.
I know I'm going to cop some heat for this.
Well, let's have a proper debate when we get into it, I think, because I certainly think Rosie needs to stand trial for once and for all for this.
Listen, I've been consistent in my views for years. I think it's also when I was working as a food stylist, you do Christmas from about July onwards.
The same in television, like you're doing in the middle of the year.
Any media, Christmas happens 6 months before it actually happens. So you get quite sick of it. But also if you've cooked it 18 times by the time you get to Christmas, and then you are... There's maybe some weighted therapy issues here that I need to discuss, but like you're the person who cooks Christmas dinner and you have to cook the same fucking thing.
And then your friends invite you round and then make you cook it like I do.
Yeah. And then everyone's just got an opinion on it. And like, anyway, we'll talk about it later.
I think universally, though, eating a lot of food, that's like, we all enjoy that, no matter what it is.
It's been a feast tradition since Neolithic times, actually. I read that archaeologists digging near Stonehenge found a huge mountain of pig bones.
I thought you were going to say like a huge pile of Ferrero Rocher wrappers.
No, they're buried a bit deeper. They didn't find them. And they also managed to work out that the bones were about 9 months old. So if the piglets were being born in spring, they'd have been eating it at Christmas. So it's the first documented sort of, it's pre-Christ, but it was like a midwinter feast that the Brits were all having 4,000 years ago.
Yeah, what do they call it?
Just mus.
Happy
Stone mus.
Yeah.
But it's interesting, isn't it? Because like for many of us, it's quite secular now, Christmas. Like it's just
I think so.
this point at the end of the year where you absolutely send it on the food and drink.
100%.
And it's like, do we need that collectively as a society? Like something to look forward to where you can just be like, it's okay because at Christmas I'm gonna lose
I think
my
so.
mind.
A lot of cultures have the like midwinter when it's dark and it's bleak. You want light, you want loads of food, you
Absolutely.
want candles.
Warm.
Very true.
Yeah.
Something to look forward to as well.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Going back to the food then, I think about 89% of the UK celebrate Christmas.
Right.
Well, there is a YouGov poll on what constitutes a Christmas dinner.
This was the one for this year, 2025,
Exactly.
right?
Ooh.
Because it's the Christmas special. We want to start with cold, hard data.
To start with, only 8 in 10 Britons, this is actually shocking to me, will be accompanying their Christmas Day meal with roast potatoes
No.
or gravy.
That is unbelievable.
That is actually crazy to me.
are they
Why are
having-
you not having potatoes and why are you not having gravy?
Well, this isn't. It says roast potatoes. Are they having another kind of potatoes?
Yeah,
because
I
I think,
reckon most of the final 2 out of 10 are having boiled potatoes.
or mashed potatoes
Or mashed
as well. I think
Mashed.
maybe in the Midlands
Or
it's a
chips.
lot more common.
Yeah. Like as a fundamental Christmas food Scrooge, those are the two bits that I think are the most important.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, if I am going to have Christmas dinner, the two bits I'm not missing are the potatoes and gravy.
Yeah. Also, I definitely prefer, of the meats, the pigs in blankets. Like, that's just like triggers your like animal brain.
Do
It's,
you
like,
make your
salty and
own?
fatty.
Do you wrap your own?
My grandma used to make them, but yeah.
Oh, what was the word for wrapping stuff in bacon we learned?
Oh, barding.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're just barded
Do
sausages,
you
aren't they?
bard your own sausage?
I don't bard them, I do sparge them.
Okay, so let's go through vegetables, most common to least common, not including potatoes, because I've already said that.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think is the next most popular vegetable?
Parsnips.
Or-
I'm going to say carrots or parsnips
I
are
was
the
gonna
big
say
two.
parsnips.
Yeah. I think parsnips also, like, I love parsnips. They look too similar to roast potatoes. So you have to be really
true.
careful about how you cut them and how they look. Because what you don't want is a load of beige things and then you have no idea whether you're biting into a parsnip
And you're
or a potato.
expecting it.
It's a big
Nothing
problem.
worse.
So it's a huge problem. Alex was right. It is carrots. And actually, parsnips aren't even the next popular one.
Oh, okay.
Sprouts.
Brussels sprouts.
Must be
I was gonna-
sprouts.
Yeah.
It's
Is
sprouts.
peas a thing?
Actually, only a third of Britons include peas in their
Okay,
dinners.
that's about what I'd expect.
And about a quarter include broccoli. Sorry, 4 in 10. What's that? A fourth.
40%, nearly half.
40%, nearly half. So that's not a quarter.
I'm not really learning much
Slightly
about
more
vegetables,
than
but I am
a
learning
third.
that Rosie can't do maths.
Okay. What do we think about cauliflower cheese?
I think any of the tree vegetables, broccoli,
The tree
cauliflower.
yeah.
It's not.
There's enough trees in Christmas
yeah,
as it
it's
is.
not.
Yeah.
It's not
true.
Christmas.
The next two sides I'm going to mention have kind of got the least popularity. But I'm actually quite surprised by that because I always was given them growing up, which are red cabbage
Ooh.
Love red
and
cabbage.
bread sauce.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Which, by the
No.
way, I hate.
Who invented bread sauce? What were you
Probably
trying to
very
do?
old-fashioned
Why?
porridge.
It was definitely beaten. Surely it was beaten.
Very
She was like,
beaten-coded.
how to ruin a loaf of bread. Like, I think it looks like something a pigeon would eat. I will just say I missed this bit. Mashed potato does feature for 35% of Brits.
Oh, wow. So there's an
Yeah,
overlap. So
But
some people are
it is
having
very geographically dependent.
So some people are having roast potato and mashed potato.
Yeah. Which is so valid.
Yeah.
so valid.
80%
Yeah.
plus 35% does
It
not
was,
equal
whoever
100.
said it was the Northerners, they were right. 50% of them will have mashed potato.
Yeah, I think so. One of the last things in the poll was which emotions do you typically feel over the Christmas period? And from top to bottom, from 59% to 3 is happy, nostalgic, joyful, relaxed, excited, content, stressed, sad, anxious, bored, lonely, frustrated, and other. I want to know what other is.
Yes, the bottom. Horny.
Horny.
I didn't want to admit it.
Clinically insane.
Okay, it's time for Lunchbox number 1. And this week, that is Rosie's.
Guys, I hate to break it to you, but I don't have any of a Christmas dinner. And I didn't even cook it. What I have got for you today is a Japanese classic Kentucky Fried Chicken. KFC.
Yes.
Oh my god! On a huge, beautifully
Oh,
presented, I have
wow.
to say.
Someone
Lovely.
Gorgeous.
Looks like an
is pitching
advert.
for that KFC food styling job.
It's on a beautiful Christmassy red tray. We've got a massive bucket of chicken. We've got fries in a platter. We've got
Yeah.
sweet
Sauce.
corn. We've got sauces.
Okay. Did you know that in Japan, KFC is the most eaten Christmas dinner?
What?
This is like a huge tradition over there, right?
It's a huge tradition. So it's basically one of Japan's most successful pieces of Christmas marketing.
Okay.
And it dates back to the 70s when Takeshi Okawara, the manager of the first KFC in Japan in Nagoya, noticed that foreigners who were in the country at the time were looking for a traditional Christmas meal.
Okay.
But with not really any Christmas food culture in Japan, he improvised with a party barrel. Love,
okay.
obsessed, of fried chicken as a substitute for a Western style turkey dinner.
Yeah.
And then KFC Japan in 1974 launched a campaign called, oh good, here we go. This is good. My best Japanese. Kurisumasu Niwa Kentucky. Kurisumasu. Oh my god, it makes me
I can hear it.
I love
Christmas,
it, yeah.
Kentucky
Yeah.
Fried Christmas.
Yeah.
Sorry, by the way, for butchering that.
So it started off with this one manager of the KFC having
Exactly.
this idea, and it was popular. And then KFC, the
KFC
company, got on board and were like, "Let's push this."
KFC head office loved it. And of course, because in Japan, Christmas is entirely secular, it basically became a new tradition, the perfect contest for a treat, rather than anything religious.
Traditions have to start somewhere, don't they?
Yeah, and I think that Japanese people think of it as a proper Japanese tradition. They don't think of it as like an American import. It's like become their thing.
Yeah, it's really ingrained in the culture. So today, 3.5 to 4 million Japanese families order a KFC at Christmas. They have to pre-order it. And apparently some KFC branches have queues round the block on the 24th and the 25th to pick up your order.
God, KFC must be loving that.
I reckon Burger King are kicking themselves.
The colours are quite Christmassy. Looking at the bucket.
That's true.
It's an inherently celebratory meal at KFC because it's very much sharing oriented, which is what sets it apart from the other high street fast food ventures, I would say, is that it's about sharing. And I think
that's so true. The bucket is such the true spirit of Christmas is in a bucket.
Let's discuss working together. The reason why I brought it is obviously because, as you know, I don't respect the Christmas tradition at all.
And this will be your last episode on this show.
My first back and my last ever. I wanted to bring another option, another celebratory meal that doesn't actually have to be this down the line, boring as hell meal. As a chef, it appalls me.
Yeah.
It appalls me. It makes my skin crawl. You are making a meal which is so not synergetic. You've got a turkey. Yes, sure. If you're clever enough, you'll make a gravy from your turkey. But quite a lot of people don't. So they've made a separate gravy. They've separately made roast potatoes. They've separately made parsnips, carrots, whatever. Everything is cooked apart. Think about how often that happens.
You don't have to cook them all apart, though. You can put all the vegetables together.
Yeah, but for a perfect roast, there is actually quite a lot of precision and finesse needed. Everything has to be prepped separately.
What if you could order Christmas dinner like you could order KFC? Would you hate it less?
But I still think it's the same problem of like, this meal doesn't make sense to me on the plate to have that many different elements all separate.
It's true. When you say that, there's actually so many different bits of the meal.
It's literally like, if you're doing it really big, you've got 6 different sides, not including meat sides.
That is weird.
2 to 3 sauces, cranberry bread and gravy. What? That's insane.
But that's the point. The point is that it's a special meal. You'd never do this any other time.
I know. If I want to have a special meal, I'm not eating this. Like I have been desperate to do a very seafood Christmas for years, where I would have like a big raw feast of like amazing shellfish,
it's very Italian.
oysters, and then I would definitely do like a big fresh batch of like lobster or scallop or prawn linguine with like piles and piles of clams and whatever as well. By the way, does anyone want to eat some KFC?
Yes, I do.
Let's dig in.
Oh my god, thank you, Rosie.
There's some dips and gravy, as you know.
Oh, damn.
I mean, I guess that I don't agree with your position, but I understand why you take that position now, because I think you're a cook and a chef. If you want to eat something, you want to eat it well. I guess maybe a roast is very easy to do, but very difficult to do like properly and well to your high standards.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's always going to be something that's shit. At least one thing has to suffer for the benefit of something else. And also the other thing that I fundamentally disagree with is turkey. Like I don't think it's a good meat. I'm never going to be convinced on this. It's really hard to do well. I have eaten one good turkey dish in my life.
Wow.
Who was it?
And it was in like a really, really smart restaurant in Portugal, and they did like a tasting menu. To cook a turkey well, you need to take the legs off, braise them separately. You need to roast the crown. You need to have dry brined it for like X amount of days. And it's still almost always is going to be dry as fuck. Unless you've got like a really amazing professional oven, like a Rationale, which they have in, very smart kitchens.
What about the deep fried turkey?
I've never had it, and I would try it because I really like deep frying as a medium. You are much more likely to get a moist result from deep frying than you are from ovening. And then that's the other thing. The oven. The poor fucking oven. The oven is abused at Christmas because everything is roasted, which is why I advocate for like a gratin, which can be made well in advance and almost just shoved under a grill. Or, even just done stovetop, like cheesy leeks. You could just do that on the top. You don't have to do that in the oven at all. Red cabbage, same thing. Like all these little wet sides are much better than having 3 sauces and a shitload of dried out, poorly roasted potatoes, carrots, and parsnips.
Well, Christmas is a time for differing opinions and having arguments with people, but I would say I think I'd rather you be racist. I'd rather you be the racist uncle than be going on this
hates
rant.
turkey.
I actually can't stomach it at all.
Thing is, I do cook it because my family, specifically my younger brothers, request it. But I would never cook a turkey, so I always do like a porchetta, usually, or a big 4 rib of beef.
Well, you're not the only one who doesn't like cooking turkeys. Did you know that Benjamin Franklin nearly killed himself in 1750 trying to electrocute a turkey for his Christmas dinner? It's so ridiculous. So he set up this experiment using these large Leyden jars, which are basically like early batteries, these big jars of liquids for storing electrical charge. And he tried to cook the turkey from live to plate. Okay.
Oh my god!
Electric chair.
So much wrong with that.
He believed that.
Wait, turkeys often get pardoned. This one had been condemned.
It was pretty savage. His belief was that the turkey would be more tender if I cooked it straight from alive. Yeah. But during the demonstration, which he was doing in front of people, he accidentally discharged the full charge through his own body. It's like something out of Mr. Bean.
Oh my god!
It's also so funny that he was like, "I've never done it before, but I'll demonstrate." The confidence, honestly.
So he accidentally managed to cook himself instead of the turkey, and he said that it struck him like a universal blow from head to foot, and his hands and his arms and his neck were all numb and aching until the next day. He sort of desperately asked that nobody make it public that this happened.
Here we
talking
are.
about it now, so somebody leaks it.
How embarrassing, Franklin.
The turkey survived.
Nice.
Really?
Yeah.
Karma.
It reminds me a little bit of, so in food styling, we often use a heat gun when we are making things look bubbly for camera or like just very concentrated browning. So turkeys, as I have said, are very hard to cook well. But I'm sure you've seen a million beautifully bronzed golden turkeys on all of the Christmas advertising that we get fed since, September. Well, the secret to a perfectly golden turkey is Marmite.
That's a good one.
You just paint it on.
So basically what you'll do, firstly, you'll stuff the cavity with a mixture of kitchen towel and mashed potato.
Okay.
Because one of the big problems with turkey is when it roasts, it caves, you suddenly get that spine that's way more visible. Whereas when you see those turkeys in, adverts, they're really fat, juicy.
I'm sorry, where does kitchen paper and mashed potato rank on the YouGov survey?
Can I ask why both? Why not just one?
Yeah, that's good.
Because I think kitchen paper soaks up the excess liquid that's in the cavity and that comes from
the potatoes.
The mash firms up. Solidifies. I basically can't style anything without kitchen towel. Then, depending on what your brief is, so let's say you do have to get a clean slice out of the breast.
Yeah.
You'll probably maybe even do like a few kettles of water over the top just to get those few outer layers nice and ready for cooking. And then also you'll bake it for as long as you need the breast to be just enough cooked to get that perfect slice.
Got it.
But you're
That
really
steamy slice.
this is not for eating, this turkey. No oven has even unless it's like brand new. Most ovens have hot spots and cold spots.
Yeah.
Most turkey skins have thick bits and thinner bits. So there's just no way that you can evenly brown a turkey perfectly for the standard of like commercial advertising that they require. So what you do is you take Marmite and you take a bit of washing up liquid because washing up liquid for some reason is a really good way of making it really spreadable.
What colour fairy?
Yeah, you don't want green
I just
or
go
blue.
What? Yeah, you can't see it.
Yeah, and they also don't sell brown washing up liquid, do they?
No, they really don't.
That would be really helpful. Then you could do away with the Marmite.
So you mix it up and you basically just paint your skin of your turkey. And it also, the washing up liquid helps it stay really shiny as well. Like the gloss remains. When you see those turkeys, they're not matte, are they? They're really shiny. The other problem you have, and the reason why we don't cook it through, is because the skin shrinks on turkeys. Or any poultry, when you roast poultry, the skin will shrink away. Sometimes you'll get little tears or pulls, and obviously that's going to be a big no for whoever it is. Who's
consistency.
Yeah. So
it's ironic because all the human actors will be Botox to fuck. So.
yeah. And also, of course, obviously in big commercial ads and food styling, you will be roasting maybe 10 or 12, sometimes up to 20 turkeys for one shot.
Wow.
It's like my Christmas dinner.
Because obviously just to get a perfect, consistent result every single time, you have to be Yeah, you have to have a lot of turkeys on
options,
set.
yeah.
Maybe Benjamin Franklin's method would be useful for that because you can put all the turkeys in a line and then just attach jumper cables.
It would actually.
Sounds like Christmas lights, but turkey.
So that's what we do.
So turkey's off the menu, roast's off the menu. What around the world? What are the other options for traditional dinners then?
Well, fish is a really popular choice.
Okay.
In a lot of Catholic countries or ex-Catholic countries, even if they've gone secular, because Catholics love a fast, as we know.
What, fasting over Christmas, really?
No, but Advent period, Easter
okay.
Advent fasts where you couldn't eat meat, but Catholics didn't consider fish as meat because it lives in the sea.
It is,
It's
of course, a vegetable of the sea.
Exactly.
Vegetable of the
So
sea.
fish, go for it. And this was like even up until Christmas Eve, which is why in a lot of these countries, the Christmas Eve meal still fish.
Yeah.
But that's when like the big celebration is.
Often freshwater fish. Like I associate Polish Christmas with carp.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Is
I
there
don't
really?
think I've ever eaten carp.
It's horrible. It's got. Sorry, no offense, Poland,
No
but
offense to the fish community listening.
carp has like shitloads of really tiny bones in it. It's almost like it's quite like fluffy texture. The yeah,
Crunchy.
Also
Not a fan.
quite muddy as well. If you don't like, you got to purge it. So there's a really cool tradition in the Czech Republic where it's not loads of families do it anymore. They tend to just go to a fishmonger, but some still do this. They'll buy their carp fresh, live, a couple of days before, pop it in the bath.
Oh, yeah.
So all of that mud comes out, and you have a pet for a couple of days. Looks great fun. Can't have a bath, but
And then
that's
you
fine.
get Benjamin Franklin around to electrocute it.
Yeah. And then you kill it on Christmas Day and you fry it and you eat it with potato salad and it looks amazing.
Bet you love that, Rosie.
I would actually eat the shit out of that. Yeah, I obviously
Traitor.
rate the fish vibe on Christmas. As I said, I want a fish dinner. But my brothers don't eat fish, so we've never been allowed it, and that is why I don't speak to them anymore.
Your brother's food taste and mine align very nicely. I think I should have Christmas with them.
Yeah, that's why you're such good mates with them.
Yeah. That's why we keep hanging out without you.
So there's another community that gets takeout on Christmas Day.
Yes.
Yeah, you know it.
Yeah. Jewish New Yorkers, is it just New York or is it all over the States?
Yeah.
Will enjoy a Chinese.
Yeah, on Christmas Day.
Because they're not celebrating Christmas. And
Yeah, but
that's
I
the only
think
place
that
that's open.
also they
right?
want to do something special. And I think a lot of Chinese food is kosher as well.
Well,
Right.
also, I imagine that the Chinese community in New York are still running their businesses on Christmas Day because they're not celebrating Christmas either.
Yeah.
So they're probably one of the only restaurants that was open,
Yeah.
like historically, that they could get food from. Maybe.
I think it's the same here. Like, you know how, because there's a lot of people go out to have their Christmas dinner. Like, you can book at a restaurant or a pub, but there's loads of like international food options, like Indian and stuff like that, because
Christmas
it's
curry.
not,
we had Indian Christmas last year.
Did you?
Yeah. With my husband's Jewish family.
Hey, what's the most Christmassy curry?
See, I would suggest in Lapland.
Famous
Stubby.
for its curry, Lapland.
No, this isn't a curry, but this might make a good meat for a curry. So, like around Lapland, which is that sort of area across Norway, Sweden, Finland, they will eat reindeer, which is maybe the most / least Christmassy spirit
Yeah,
thing.
true, actually.
At the same time,
I thought the reindeer were otherwise engaged on
Yeah,
Christmas.
exactly.
They needed to keep.
I don't think they all are.
stocked
They're only
up.
about-
Eat the weak ones that
Yeah.
can't fly.
the ones
yeah.
that fall behind. Yeah.
I will say there is one Christmas traditional meat that I am a 1,000,000% a fan of.
Oh, yeah.
Ham.
Oh, yeah.
The
Okay.
ham.
The
Christmas
ham.
ham.
The Christmas ham. That is worth having all year round, in my opinion. Like some nice ham in your fridge.
I agree.
Why not? Why don't we do that?
In Antarctica, specifically in 1902, Shackleton's expedition to the South Pole, he hid a Christmas pudding from his team and he went and found it on Christmas Day and it was wrapped up in some socks.
Oh, what? Like
I know.
directly.
He'd hidden it in a pile of socks. And then in 1912, there was an Australasian expedition, which failed to make it to the South Pole. But they, this is really tragic, they had to create a Christmas pudding out of 3 ground up hardtack biscuits mixed with snow and 7 raisins and then doused in methylated spirits and boiled in an old sock.
Oh my god.
And they ate that.
And they ate that. Okay, it's time for Lunchbox number 2, and this week that is mine. I've brought you a mince pie.
Oh,
And it's rather large, which is how they used to make it back in the day. So I followed a 1798 recipe.
Oh, no.
yeah.
You had me at mince pie until you said the recipe from 1798.
So interestingly, it's actually got meat in it.
Oh god, like actual mincemeat.
Yeah, actual mincemeat, and also some suet, which obviously you can get vegetarian versions of these days. That is beef fat, which is solid at room temperature, adds to the richness of pastries.
So is the suet in the pastry or in the filling?
It's in the filling.
Is
It's
the
in the
pastry
mincemeat.
lard based?
No, well, the original recipe said yes, but I thought I'd spare you all that extra meat, and I made it with butter.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you for
But
that.
I'm not a baker, as I've often said on this podcast, but I do think the pastry mix is particularly puritanical and stodge-free. But it's basically just flour and water and some butter. And that's actually how they used to be made. Like, pastry used to be a form of Tupperware. It was a storage method, so you'd often tear open your pie and throw away the pastry because it didn't taste of anything. It was quite hard.
That's so interesting.
And apparently, if you covered up the air holes with some solid fat, like lard, for instance, you could keep them for up to a year
Whoa.
Wow.
because the ingredients were cooked inside and salty and sugary enough that they didn't.
So what,
basically
you'd
ferment.
make your mince pies the year before you
could
actually wanted to eat them?
But this is pies generally. Should I do a little bit of history of mince pie? Or do you want to tuck in
let's hear
first?
it. Yeah, I'm in no rush to tuck in. Thanks.
Wow, rude.
Pie crusts used to be known as coffins
Because people were coughing in them.
Yeah, well, no, because they look like coffin shaped and they used to store.
Okay, so that's why you've made this one in like a big rectangular shape.
Yeah,
It's massive,
so
by the
basically
way.
this one looks like, I've made it in a loaf tin because the other thing they used to do is make the mince pies not only enormous, but in the shape of the baby Jesus' manger.
Wow.
And also traditionally made with 13 ingredients to represent Christ and his apostles. So very heavily religious. But yeah, so the earliest recipe we have is from the cookbook from the 14th century called The Form of Curry, which was
Yes.
basically, I think it was a royal court wrote down a list of all the recipes they made for the king.
But it's spelled like the formy of curie.
Yeah,
like,
it's very old English.
very,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
ooh,
You imagine
ye
it
olde,
in
yeah.
spindly writing.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a spell book.
Yeah. Anyway, they give a recipe for tart of flesh, again
Oi.
with an E on the end,
Fix your branding.
which contains figs, raisins, wine, pine kernels, lard, cheese, minced pork, honey, and spices. So it's kind of the earliest pork pie.
It's kind of like a potpourri pork pie.
Is this the same recipe that I've got in my notes? It also includes hard-boiled eggs.
Ooh, no, I don't think
Because
so.
that's another rogue thing. And cheese.
Very,
I mentioned
very
cheese.
sulfuric
Yeah.
combinations there.
Yeah. But no, I made this one. This one dates to a bit later, but it's essentially a tart of flesh. So,
Lovely.
do you want to tuck in?
I like a modern mince pie, shall we say. And I also like a meat pie. So there's a part of me that's like, it should work.
And it's got genuine spices. I think basically the combination of eating meat and spices arrived in this country after the Crusades because it was quite popular in the Middle East and has been for many centuries. Samuel Pepys had mince pies a little bit later at a friend's anniversary party in 1661. And there were apparently 18 mince pies, one for each of their year of their happy marriage. But he also does seem to expect them for Christmas because his wife got too ill to make them one year. And so instead of making them himself, he just got them delivered. Like
The
in a
birth
sort
of delivery.
Exactly.
I wonder if they were made in the bakery in Pudding Lane.
Oh, they actually caused the Great
Oh,
Fire.
yeah, they might have been.
So I can go through the ingredients. It's basically mince, grated apple, suet, raisins, cinnamon, nutmeg, cloves, bit of ginger, and some apple juice just to keep it moist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, that doesn't seem like that wouldn't not be in a Not a Lengthy cookbook at some point. Like,
Little negatives there.
sorry to use so many double negatives.
With the medieval spice combination, something Ken Albala brought up when we were doing Thanksgiving, he brought up the fact that combination is pumpkin spice.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So like everything from that period tended to
So
be
this
pumpkin
actually,
spice.
we talked about pumpkin spice spam. This is basically a pumpkin spice spam pie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In case you're wondering when the meat got dropped, it was sometime in the 19th century because we've got Mrs. Beaton, friend of the pod.
Yeah.
She wrote in her book of household management 2 recipes, one with meat and one without. And then by the 20th century, there was no meat really, unless you were doing an old school one.
Well, should we dig into
Yeah,
this?
let's do it.
Yeah. Okay. It's got a good
It's just really quite hard.
Do you want to hands it?
No. It is just a meat pie, Anna.
You're going to go in for a big...
I'm gonna go for
That's
it.
a big spoon.
You can't really taste the meat.
Really?
Yeah, it's just
you
like a
really
mince
can't.
pie.
It's not.
Oh yeah, it tastes so much like a normal mince pie.
Yeah. I think if I didn't know the beef was in there, I'd prefer it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the problem I have with it is that I just want it to be more savoury, not sweet.
Yeah, pick a lane.
Pick a lane.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because I love mince pies.
People think I'm mad for doing this.
Okay.
Mince pie in the oven. Take it out of the oven. Take the top off. Layer of butter.
Wow.
Interesting.
Because it's not decadent enough.
I'm going to try that. That's
It's
actually clever.
Very good.
It's like a piece of toast, except for the toast is
a mince
mince
pie.
pie.
Essentially, you're buttering something.
You say that whenever you like put butter on your boiled potatoes. It's like toast.
Yeah, it's just like a piece of toast.
Or like when you're like moisturising in the evening. It's like I'm a piece of toast.
No, I don't think you're mad. I think that's actually really,
that sounds really
really clever.
If you
I would
like-
order that in a restaurant if it was on a menu.
In Yorkshire, they still eat them with cheese.
Yeah, like
Mince
an
pies.
apple steak.
Oh,
Yeah,
sounds
basically,
good.
yeah.
Wait,
like
what?
a little bit of quite subtle, like Wensleydale
I
or
was going to
Cheshire
say
cheese.
cheddar in a mince pie.
But sometimes
would be-
cheddar, yeah.
Well, speaking of Yorkshire, should we move on to Yorkshire puddings?
Oh my god, sorry. The best part of the roast, Rosie.
Just so disagree. Like, why am I eating a dry AF
No,
pancake?
because you're making them. Okay, no, they
I
are a
have,
big
I,
right.
have, I have stats on this. How many households consider Yorkshire pudding part of the Christmas
Well,
lunch?
firstly, everyone in Yorkshire, surely.
Oh, maybe actually. I don't have geographical data,
No,
but
no. I would say
Wow.
30% of the population.
I think it's got to be more. I think it's got to be like 50 or 60.
I think it's less because it is non-traditional.
Rosie's closest. It's 49% of Britons add Yorkshire pudding. It's basically Brexit. It's basically referendum. And I do wonder whether it's everyone who voted Remain.
Yeah.
Imagine if that
Imagine if
correlated
it went straight down the party
exactly,
lines. Yeah. 49% of Britons add Yorkshire puddings to their table. This rises to 68% when
Hey, is that
people have
fun?
roast beef.
Yes.
So, but
And
not
that
many people eat
I
beef.
can understand.
Yeah.
The Yorkshire puddings actually, as opposed to a lot of the other components of a stupid Christmas roast, make sense to me when it's beef because
Yeah.
traditionally you use beef dripping,
Oh,
the
to make
fat from the
the-
beef that you're cooking,
Yeah.
Yeah.
to cook your Yorkshire puddings in, and that is synergetic cooking. That's like,
Yeah.
oh, and this is in this, so we use that as well.
Also, you could cook them in the dripping, but not in the classic shape. So you could put like little dollops in your fat,
okay.
and those were called Yorkshire puffs.
Excuse me?
Clever.
A woman called Hannah Glass was the first to write about them in the UK.
Okay.
She was a chef from the 1700s, and she mentions them in her book, The Art of Cookery, Made Plain and Easy.
I thought that that's where she's popularised her recipe,
yeah.
but I think that she actually first printed the recipe in a book in 1737 called "The Whole Duty of a Woman."
That's so early.
Yeah, that's whole with a W, by the way. Sorry, the entire duty of a woman.
So the later book,
Yeah.
the 1747 Art of Cookery one, she does say specifically that a woman has written it in the title, which is pretty cool.
You can imagine the publisher having that conversation. Okay, so you want to write a book, but you're a woman, but it's going to be about cooking and cleaning. What do you think? Love
Household management.
it.
Yes.
Keep them inside those rooms.
We think they're probably called Yorkshire puddings because of the county's association with coal mining, and coal's associated with very high heats. And we cook Yorkshire puddings in very high
Oh, that's
heats.
tenuous as fuck.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's-
They're called Yorkshire puddings.
That's one of the associations.
So they're not from Yorkshire.
I don't think so.
But that's like calling Weetabix Pacific breakfast because milk is wet. Like, I don't. Like, that doesn't make it. It's really. Okay.
Well, maybe.
I'm disappointed that
okay,
Yorkshire
no,
didn't
it's
invent the
fine.
Yorkshire pudding.
You wanted a more romantic story, didn't you, about some like burly Yorkshireman?
Yeah, it's a Yorkshire puff in my.
Hannah had a really, really big influence on Western cookery because she intentionally made this more famous book of hers, The Art of Cookery, like in plain language. So it was for, in her words, the lower sort. So kind of the servant class. Because cookery books until that point, say like the form of curry, as Jack mentioned, were written for royalty and people who were cooking at that kind of level and cooking in those kinds of houses. But she made a book that normal people could read.
Amazing.
And recipes that like had ingredients in them that were available to them and like a much simpler form. So she was like an immediate hit. Her book was a bestseller. It did really, really well. Hannah, unfortunately, she had a side hustle which bankrupted her. It was a clothes business which she ran with her daughter, and she ended up in debtor's prison.
Oh, God.
And then she was released, and she tried to write other cookbooks, like The Complete Confectioner, but they never did as well. And then she died poor, and we don't know what happened to her.
Goodness.
I bet you she would have been fine if she was a man.
She was always butting against that glass ceiling, wasn't she?
No.
Cookbooks in 19th century America often rhymed. They would sell them for charity,
really?
and they would make sure they rhymed. I found one for mince pies that starts, "Our much respected Uncle Sam loves pies of pumpkin, fruit or jam, potato, apple, lemon, cherry, peach, plum, and every kind of berry. But there are courtiers to the prince of pies, the old Virginia mince. There is but one right way to make it. Ere in its flaky crust you bake it. Use neither tongue nor other meat, as some cooks do, but boil the feet." And it goes on and on. And on.
Wow.
So that's the worst. So you end up with probably a badly cooked meal because they're compromising accuracy for the poem. And
Nothing rhymes with orange.
Yeah.
Also, if you're one of those people who follows a recipe like line by line,
Yeah.
and then you write, "Oh wait, is it? But not before."
But not before, exactly.
How
Yeah.
much is 4 and 20 ounces? Yeah. Just going back to Yorkshire puddings for a second. In 1974, the Yorkshire pudding earned a protected status
Oh,
from
wow.
the Royal Society of Chemistry, no less.
Oh, well,
Don't really
they're not
know
the
why they
guys
were
who
waiting.
usually give them out,
I feel like they've got more pressing issues. But they
Maybe
said
they were
that
trying to make themselves a bit cooler.
they argued that a genuine Yorkshire pudding must raise at least 10 centimetres to
Wow.
be
That's
kind
quite a
of
lot.
official Yorkshire pudding. Yeah. But I do wonder if maybe it's like Baby Bells. We don't actually eat Baby Bells, we eat mini Baby Bells. And I wonder if most of the Yorkshire puddings we eat, say from Aunt Bessie, they're probably mini
No,
Yorkshire
that
puddings.
is exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
a classic Yorkshire pudding is quite big.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
The classic one, you kind of put your whole meal inside it, which is like the most fun ever.
Yeah.
And now the viral thing to do with Yorkshire puddings is to make a giant one, then like flatten it out, fill it with everything, and roll it up like a
like a
fucking
wrap.
burrito.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the Yorkshire burrito.
I
They
haven't
went
met,
through
is it
things.
good? Has anyone tried one?
I haven't, no.
You've answered your own question. It's not good.
So who is Aunt Bessie? Does she actually exist?
She's not real.
No.
I tell you this, yeah. They have a factory in Hull. They're based in Hull,
Yorkshire.
and they produce 900 million Yorkshire puddings every year.
No.
I don't know why they made that around billion,
the
but
smell of the Aunt Bessie's
Oh my
factory.
God.
It must be. Actually, even I would agree that it probably smells quite nice.
Thank you.
yeah. In the run up to Christmas alone, 110 million.
Oh,
It's
wow,
pretty.
okay.
It's quite a lot.
Can I just say it's I know it's techers and you need a hot oven, but I make my own Yorkshire puddings and I really don't enjoy cooking. And if I can do it, you can also do it.
Oh.
Like it's
That's our
very,
positive
it's
message of the
very
day.
simple.
Believe in yourself.
Don't
That's the
burn
message of our
yourself.
Christmas episode.
Yeah.
It's time for Lunchbox number 3, and this week that is from Manu.
I have bought that free Icelandic yogurt.
This is the worst Christmas ever.
I suppose it's kind of close to the North Pole.
Okay, the fat-free bit is because I couldn't find a full fat version.
Oh, interesting.
But the Icelandic yogurt bit is important. So skyr is a kind of yogurt that they eat over there. And I brought it because it is stolen at Christmas time
Stolen. There's a whole different dessert.
Stolen flavoured yogurt.
by one of the Yule lads. So we haven't really spoken about Yuletide yet, the idea of Yule. So we think it comes from the ancient Scandinavian traditions of winter solstice festivals. So Yule. So the Yule log, the Christmas cake that we actually know about.
Familiar with.
So that comes from the ancient tradition of burning an enormous log during the shortest days of the year, and then having a big feast and partying for as long as that log was burning. So that's kind of like the winter solstice traditions. Some people think it might have something to do with like Odin as well, because he was the god of the dead, and it might have been a Scandinavian Day of the Dead festival.
Whoa. So is Yule the Scandinavian sort of pre-Christ tradition for Christmas?
Yes.
Okay,
So like
right.
Yule
That's what we're talking
festival.
about.
Yeah,
Like the
exactly.
winter
And
festival.
it's fed into our modern day European Western Christmases. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
so when Christmas was Christianized and Catholicized, they kind of pulled in a lot of these more Scandi traditions in as well. And in Iceland, they have really specific Yuletide stories and mythologies and kind of like quirky traditions. And one of them is to do with the Yule lads.
Okay.
And sorry, this is a group of men.
It sounds like a WhatsApp group.
Actually,
A toxic WhatsApp group.
It really does.
you'll like this. The Yule lads all have very weird, mischievous habits that are food related.
Okay.
The story begins with a fierce feminine figure.
Okay.
So an ogre called Girla.
Wait, you buried the ogre bit.
Called Rosie MacKean.
There's an ogre called Grilla who is known for eating naughty children. She has like multiple heads and horns.
Okay.
And she
That
has,
is a weird food habit.
Yeah,
That
it's
is,
weird.
yeah.
But she has 13 sons.
Okay.
And they come and visit you in the 13 days leading up to Christmas, and they tend to steal different types of food. So there's the first one who comes on the 12th of December. He likes to steal sheep and eat lamb.
Okay.
There's another one called Stubby who likes to swipe leftover food from frying pans.
Okay.
He's the smallest one, so he can only like reach.
Hence the name.
Yep. There's another called Pot Licker who likes to lick the leftovers of pots. There's a Bowl Licker. There's a Sausage Swiper.
Cool.
And
there-
then
Sausage swiping is just like app dating.
Yeah,
in
it's
the
like
gay
updating.
community.
That's so true.
But my favourite one was the Spoon Licker.
Nice.
So he comes and licks the leftover skyr yogurt off your spoon.
Ah.
He loves it. So
He's really not getting many calories.
Really harmless to do that, right? Like,
It's not the same as stealing a live sheep. Yeah.
yeah, it's just cleaning my spoons for me. How that happens, I don't care.
If you can survive your children being eaten and your flock being stolen, then you're kind of golden for the rest of the month.
Yeah.
Well, that was also the thing. So there's part of the kind of mythology of it, and the ritual is to leave out different things for the different Yule lads as they visit you in the lead up to Christmas. So some families will leave out yogurt or sausages or like a lamb chop, and then they'll go missing. Kind of like, you know, when you leave cookies or carrots out for Santa and his reindeers. But if that all goes well and you've survived the visits from the Yule lads, you still need to make sure you are wearing new clothes. Otherwise, you might get eaten by a giant cat. So the ogre Grilla also has a pet cat called the Yule cat.
How did they let this mythology get so out of control?
Were they all on mushrooms?
Maybe. It was Jesus. But the Yule cat, if you think about it, there's a lot of links between kind of witches and paganism and cats. So it's not that mad. But what is mad is giant. It's the size of a house.
Okay.
And it roams the Icelandic countryside on Christmas Eve, and it attacks kids that aren't wearing new clothes.
So actually, we're the lunchbox for this episode. We're the
We
ones being
could,
eaten
we
most of
could
this.
be. Is anyone wearing new clothes?
How new's new? I'd never worn before.
Yeah, like pretty new.
Within the return window.
Within the
for
returns
Uniqlo.
window.
Right, yeah.
30 days.
Yeah.
I think we should move on to our fourth and final lunchbox. And this week that comes from Alex.
I have made for you a Christmas dessert,
A
a serpentoni.
serpentoni.
Sorry, I don't know what your reaction is, Rosie. It looks delicious.
It's stuck to the tray.
Yeah, okay. So
Is it meant
this
to be black?
I
Is
haven't
it a
done
black
the best job.
mamba?
All right. Look, I really am at the end of my tether for this podcast, okay?
really
You have no idea how much production work is involved. I was up and like making this at like 1 o'clock yesterday because I was doing edits, I was sorting out kit.
I was going to say, I have also looked into this dessert,
Yeah.
and this is one of the prettier ones
Aw.
I can
Thank
see.
you. Yeah, there
It
actually are some
is-
shockers out there. So this is a traditional festive dessert from Umbria, especially from the town of Spoleto. You've been
On
there.
holiday in Spoleto, guys. It's so nice. Spoleto è bellissima lì.
And it is basically a long almond flour cake that you shape like a serpent, a snake, hence the name Serpentoni. It's usually filled with like almonds and nuts or honey, citrus, fruit, spices, liqueur. There's a lot of variations out there. It's kind of pretty simple, kind of fruity, biscuity, cakey thing. I actually did make a really nice shape. I just forgot that it obviously expands when you cook it. So it looked really nice when it was raw. I specifically came across this because I think it wasn't really well known as a tradition, and then it got some more attention a couple of years ago when an Umbrian family recipe appeared online. A woman in Montreal found a like decades old handwritten recipe from her grandmother's belongings, who I think was suffering from dementia, and posted it on Reddit, asking for help with translation. Like, it was very difficult to read. They couldn't make any sense of it. And then like the online community managed to identify what it was, and then like worked out the recipe, and then like people started trying to help make it. And this is actually, and it sort of resulted in a little revival of the cake.
This is like a Lazarus recipe.
Yeah, there's a really nice Atlas Obscura article about it. And so I actually used this woman's recipe.
Amazing.
Incredible.
I would love to try some.
Well, crack in.
I like the look of the glacé cherries.
Yeah, glacé cherries.
Heavy on the glacé cherries.
You know, one of the traditions is to lay your dough out on the tray, and then you snip the dough with a pair of scissors to make scales, and then you decorate the snake with bits of dried fruit, and then you can use glacier cherries for the eyes, and like chop one in half and make a little forked tongue.
I've also seen in some decorations they pipe meringue scales onto the snake, so it's like
that's nice.
really 3D.
Why
incredible.
did you do that, Alex?
Yeah, lazy.
No, I swear, I'm going to walk, Rosie. You bought KFC.
Dismissive shrug from Rosie.
that's
Rosie's
not the
making
face
a
I
variety
wanna
of faces. She's gone through 5 stages of grief.
Not like the worst thing ever. I think if you had another crack at it, it'd be lovely.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it'd be quite fun also to like, I love these Christmas tradition that you can experiment with and evolve every year and make it a little more elaborate. You get to revisit it each year, and you know.
See, we're all going
Yeah,
back
I
for
know.
more.
I was like, I don't know. And now I'm like, yes.
I quite like these caramelised glacé cherries. I'm actually going to finish this whole piece now.
Well done.
See, there you go.
It's really delicious. Thanks, Alex.
Yeah, you're clawing your way back into my favour. This is the last lunchbox, so I wanted to make a dessert for you and talk a little bit about some Christmas desserts. According to that 2025 YouGov survey, which is just absolutely delivering the stats today, Christmas pudding is the top festive dessert in the UK.
As in most commonly seen at a Christmas dinner.
Yeah. 41% of us have Christmas pudding.
Vibe check on Christmas pudding around the table.
4 out of 10.
Hate it. 0 out of 10.
What?
Right.
It's
Why are you surprised? I can understand that it's an old English pudding that people love, and you know, fine, that makes sense.
This is what it is for me, and I think I love something like Christmas pudding because of the tradition and the lighting it. It's so special, and it is tasty, but I don't eat very much of it because it's incredibly rich and heavy and stodgy. But I only get to taste it once a year, so therefore that makes it special.
Yeah,
like
it's all about the tradition.
It's about everything around it. So
Christmas pudding is top. Right?
Christmas pudding 41%, mince pies for 31%. So people, I guess, mince pies and cream
fewer
for
than
pudding.
a third of people.
24% go for a savoury cheese board.
Oh,
Fair enough.
I would say we do like all of them.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that's even pudding. I would say that's pudding.
Yeah.
But you know, Yule logs, trifles, Christmas cakes, 17 to 19%.
I'm waiting for my favourite one.
9% sticky toffee pudding. Is that your favourite?
We're a sticky toffee pudding family.
It is good, but that's not my favourite.
What's
one.
your favourite?
Panettone.
Oh,
So maybe it wasn't even listed. I don't know.
For shame. That is hands down my favourite thing about
it's quite
Christmas.
a posh thing, though, isn't it?
It's just like so light but so rich, and you can eat the whole thing.
It's like 50% butter, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know they hang them upside down after baking.
So it doesn't collapse. When
That's the reason they do it. Is it doesn't collapse.
But I was like, how are they doing that? Because in the videos you watch, it's just like they flip the entire tray upside down and they don't fall off. And I'm like, what is happening? It skewers in
they
the
skewer
bottom.
them.
So it's like forks going into the bottom layer of the panettone.
I think that the dish that you have after your Christmas lunch
Yeah.
is Christmas pudding, sticky toffee pudding. Mince pies are peripheral and constant.
Yeah, you have them all
Agreed.
December.
They're like
Absolutely.
every day, anytime
Yeah.
you think, what's the pudding shape? It's December, it's a mince pie.
Yes.
But for me, so is panettone. Like, it's a panettone, stollen, gingerbread,
Actually,
all the
agreed.
sweets. These
Yeah.
are all things that you buy for the... Like, this is the beauty of Christmas, is that you do the big Christmas shop and you go, absolutely fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And you buy like a sort of
10
cake,
packs of
for the
mince pies.
house that you would never do. Like it's like and it's sitting there, and you can just have a slice when you get back, and like you really like. And so I would say that's why it's really important that even Christmas cake, I would say, is something that you have with tea. If someone cooks it and makes it. Whereas for me, and there's something about Christmas pudding being like, Christmas pudding is Christmas pudding. It's like figgy pudding. It's like, it's the absolute like A-list dessert.
Yeah, true.
I don't think I could. It's a little bit like leaving the meat off or the roast potatoes. For me, the whole point is that you can't have Christmas without Christmas pudding.
And also, it's the centerpiece because it's lit on fire. It's
Yeah, exactly. It's got a whole thing going on. You can't light anything else on fire.
And it has a coin in it, doesn't it? And the people
Tradition.
Yes. Let's talk about let's talk about Christmas pudding then. It's a descendant of something called plum pottage. Plum pottage.
Okay.
A porridge.
Yeah,
Everything in history was porridge and beer.
Yeah, it came from the Middle Ages. It was a kind of rich, spiced mixture of boiled beef or boiled mutton.
Is that the same thing as frumenty? I looked it up. It had the name frumenty.
Yeah, I think it might be.
That's a fantastic name.
I know. Bring back frumenty.
Again, fruity meat pie. Like it's kind of like mince pie. Like
with
it's
spices.
all everything was all year round. Porridge and beer, and then fruity mince.
Fruity, spicy porridge.
The word plum could actually refer to any dried fruit, so it wasn't specifically plums in the pie. And then by the 1500s, it was like tied to Christmas traditionally because dried fruit and spices were like a really Christmassy thing. So it was kind of the perfect embodiment of that. Cool. And they got rid of the meat gradually. Like dropped the meat again, just like mince pies.
It feels like every dish ever in British food initially had meat in it, and then eventually the meat dropped out.
Is that because these dishes become more accessible, as in poorer people start cooking them, and then meat gets less and less because meat is expensive?
I think meat and sugar go the opposite way. So sugar gets more cheap and more available. And then people decide, oh, well, why not make this sweet thing even sweeter? Also, the idea of dessert course, like people used to eat service à la française, which was where you had all the dishes on the table at once. And then once service à la russe came in the 19th century,
which
people started eating the courses
right.
one by one. So you'd save all the sweet stuff for the end of the meal. And that's when you had the real distinction, I would say, between sweet and savoury.
That's interesting.
But that's because also if we're thinking about like the expensive food, apparently it's why Yorkshire puddings became a thing, that was initially a starter to fill you up before you eat your main, so you eat less meat, which is expensive.
Anyway, so to finish off, by the time we get to the Victorian era, we've like got a solid Christmas pudding tradition, and they've got this thing called Stir Up Sunday. Have you heard about this?
Yeah, look a day.
Have you partaken in Stir Up Sunday? Have you done that?
I've done it when I've been working for businesses that needed to do it.
It's the day when you make the mixture for the pudding because you make it
cake.
and Christmas cake because you do this weeks in advance. And there's a ritual where every single member of the family gets a turn at stirring the pot. And
You do it in November, and what you do is you stir up the mix. Oh, it's the mincemeat as well. You make your mincemeat for your mince pies on that day, and you soak it with the booze, and then you let it essentially ferment for as much time as it needs to ferment, and then you make your Christmas cake and you make your Christmas pudding and you make your mince pies and your mincemeat is golden.
And of course, hiding things inside the Christmas pudding is a tradition all the way back to the 17th century, I think. It's not really done any more that commonly, I think, mainly because I think people buy their Christmas puddings and
Others
actually...
have gone mad.
Well, when I was in France, just briefly, on New Year's... No, 12th night, I think, you
Epiphany.
get a galette des rois.
Yeah, I was
And there's
literally about to
Oh,
say
you might know more about it then.
Well, basically in France, they make a big pastry with an almond filling, delicious. And then there's like a little king in it, isn't there? And basically, if you get the slice of the king in,
It's a small
person.
porcelain.
Well,
like,
I think
nugget.
one of there are several different things you can put inside. There's obviously the silver coin, where you get sixpence or something, and then like you get some money. You could hide a pea or a bean in, and that makes you king or queen of the feast if you get that. So I guess
very
that's a bit like
similar,
making a king.
that's more safe.
Yeah, the bean king and the bean queen. It's like a whole dinner, kind of like a topsy-turvy dinner where you had poor people who would like pretend to be royalty. There's like
That
the
links
bean
to
feast.
Saturnalia. The ancient Romans celebrated Saturnalia in the middle of December and towards the end, actually, because it extended for a week. And that was the only time of year that the enslaved people were given the chance to sort of be
the master for the
equals
day.
and master sometimes. Yeah,
You usually
and
wonder how like seriously everyone took it.
well,
Given
I
that the next day you'd wake up and be like, oh,
you
I'm
could
this
easily
lady.
like toe the line. But yeah,
So yeah, the other things that can be inside the that you might find inside the Christmas pudding: a wishbone for good luck,
salmonella.
a ring for impending marriage. I mean, that's just a proposal. But then also a thimble or button for thrift/spinsterhood. I found, which is like so like what is that? Like you get it, you're like you're never gonna get married. Yeah, like it's so odd. So I looked into where our Christmas puddings come from because I think nearly everyone probably buys a Christmas pudding these days. Making them is quite a lot of effort. Over 95% of Christmas puddings sold in Britain come from one company.
Yeah. Is this Matthew something?
Matthew Walker.
Matthew Walker. Yeah. Because it's such an unknown name.
It's so unknown. I've never heard of it. It's the world's oldest Christmas pudding maker as well.
Wow.
Founded in Derbyshire in 1899. This guy called Matthew Walker.
And he's still alive.
I know. He started selling puddings based on his mother's recipes.
Okay.
And then they got a dedicated factory in 1967. Produces 25 million puddings a year. Every single major UK retailer uses them. They've cornered the market in Christmas
I
pudding.
would love to be like his grandson, the CEO of Matthew Walker's Christmas puddings. You've almost got a monopoly, and yet you're so under the radar famous.
Yeah.
Like you just got to be a millionaire.
It's
right?
drummer in Coldplay for food.
Yeah, it's drummer in Coldplay for
So
food.
true.
Okay, that's it for this week's edition of Lunchbox Envy.
Yes, you can follow our socials for foodie facts and podcast updates. We are on X, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Lunchbox Envy Pod.
You can also get in touch and send us your facts, recipes, and questions by emailing us lunchbox@qi.com.
Rosie, have you got any final festive tips to finish us off?
If you are making a Christmas dinner this year, all I can say is try and spread the load, try and get some stuff done earlier in the week. You don't want to do all of your work on Christmas morning, A, because you want to get pissed, B, because it will stress you out.
There is a word, Yule Shard, which is somebody who is still preparing Christmas on Christmas Eve. So don't be a Yule Shard,
Don't be a Yule
guys.
Shard.
And if you fancied it, in my book, Good Time Cooking, I have a Christmas feasting menu in there, and it's very good.
That is all from us. We'll be back with a little bonus episode which we'll release on Christmas Day. From everyone at the Lunchbox Envy team, have a lovely Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Happy Christmas.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Lunchbox Envy was hosted by Manu Henriot, Rosie MacKean, Alex Bell, and me, Jack Chambers. This has been a quite interesting podcast.